So a bit of a disaster. I was merrily doing my feet on my rolling table and pulled it back on the last one. I was just about to, I just wound the carriage forwards to come down and measure the length on this here, and as I pulled the carriage down, it felt a little bit graunchy. Well, I've been filing the ends round on the bars, so this curvature here, I've been filing that, and I think finally I got enough of a build up down there, and it got underneath the apron at the back there. It went, I stopped, wound it back off a bit, and I'm not moving it now. Just stripping it down. I've took the compound off. I'm now going to take the 4 T-nuts off. Awesome. I can all go down there. I'll clean them up in a bit. Now the small Allen keys come out. Where is the Allen key for that? I think that's this one. I needed to take this saddle off anyway to measure the end play in the cross slide feed, so yeah, that's the right Allen key for that. I think I'll over tighten this side. Got it anyway. So these are the apron hold downs. Stop it from flying off and ripping everything to shreds. Yep, they weren't this loose before, but they're just falling to pieces now. So that's what they look like. On this one it says 1 back right, 1 BR. Put bolt back in that, cap screw. I think the 1 denotes the lathe. So this is for lathe number 1, and it's the back right. This one says 1 B on it, so it's back on the back right. Maybe you look back on it. Maybe start off like maybe something else. That's what I need to do anyway. That's what I want to do. But I don't need to do. I need to now put a swath in there. And that's 1F. And this will be 1FR. And I swear if you had the number 2 machine, all this would say 2 and 2FR, and so on and so forth. Everything on this machine has 1 printed on it. Every part has 1 on it. Next, I was going to take the cross slide off, but I've opted against that. There is no real need for it, from what I can see. Put the Allen key in here. I'll get the right size Allen key, obviously. I did that tight. Yep. All the ones I just nipped, I thought I'd better do these a little bit tighter. They are a bigger cap screw. So I'm just going to be looking down there, so I'm going to straight off now. The feed screw, and the stop bar, outside the in front of the lathe, and now we stop again, and fall out. And I'm going to have to move you a little bit because you're in the way. Short cap screw, and that's it. It should be off now. Should be. The apron should be loose. Yeah, okay. It's come straight up off, as we can see there. Okie dokie. Let's see how much crud was in there. Something just to protect the bedways. Alright, we won't get the company cross slide off because guess what I've done? I've left the lock on it. Awesome. We'll nearly get it off. Can't remember how much of this has to come off. Whether it has to come off all the way or not, can't remember. Oh yeah, all the way. Oh, it's out of the way, that's it, I remember now, yeah. Okay. So, it's a bit of a naff design, that one is. Let's see what we've got underneath there. Let's see what we got. Right out there. So this was the front. That's the whole swarfy rag. Where's my finger to get those loose bits off? And how much was in there? I think we just got a little bit in the front here. I don't know if you can see that on the camera where my thing is. So I think a little bit just went underneath at the front here, just there. So I stopped cleaning it out. There we go. So these oil ways, they were clogged up. These ones here. Back out again. Dust that bit of swarf off. Wasn't a lot. But yeah, I think it just went under at the front right there. Just at the front of the cross slide, shall I say. Oh no, a saddle, that's the one, saddle. The front of the saddle, there we go. Getting there now. So we've got wear here. From about there up to about there. Which I suppose that's where all the tool pressure is, that's where you expect all the wear to be. It is a 100-year-old lathe after all, but it did some work when it was new. It's never had wipers on it. And I wonder how many times this happened in its life. Now, inside here is the feeds mechanism. And this one here, can you see that? When I engage that, well, I don't know if you can see this here. I'm just looking for the one on that one. It's underneath the cross slide up there. You can see inside there, my finger is one. I'm just going to show this casting where it is. I haven't seen it yet. I'm pretty sure on the apron, which is just over this way, the one is underneath the cross slide. But anyway, we're concentrating on this. Oh, come on, stop rocking, camera. Stop. So this is the feed. When that engages, there's still some play there. And this is a taper lock. So right now, I can still turn that gear. Whereas if you make it tighter, So it seems this gear, it has like a, there we go. When I took it to pieces, what I didn't do was, I don't know if you can see that, so this gear has that serrated gear on it, you see at the bottom, so you've got the, obviously it's a gear, so you've got the teeth, but inside, right down in the centre there, there's a serrated section. I'm sure you can all see it, I just want to point onto it. So this serrated section, so that's on this gear here, look, yeah? This gear here has the negatives to those serrations on the inside. So as it locks in, it's now locked the two gears together, but it still turns, as you can see. And then as I put pressure on, this becomes quite difficult to turn. And the more pressure I put onto it, the more difficult it becomes to turn. But if I just give it a few rocks like that, that becomes really loose. And the reason why it does that is because it's got a taper inside, it's a taper lock. It doesn't matter how much pressure I put onto it, it can't exert enough pressure, so I need something to put more pressure on. I don't want to press like that too much. Automatic feed. If your machine can do it, I believe it should do it. Okay. Front casing. One bolt. Two bolts. That's miles easy to get off now. I've rebent those. Bits. Oh, I remember I had these. C-spans I made. I remember I made some C-spanners. They are amazing. So that one fits in there. It's nice when you put it on the wrong way, obviously. That's always handy. Oh, and then when you drop them, they're just like awesome. It'll probably be easier if I just put the pin in and the pin in. To be fair, I would probably have a lot easier time of it. So if I do that and then make some kind of lever, I'm sure this is all going to end in tears. Everything else has today. Oh, it moves. Oh, that's handy. Just going from the top. Excellent. So far, so good. And that's undone. Oh, bit of a fiddle, but that is now undone. So I'm just going to put a load more pressure on you get to a certain point where it just will not. Nothing's happening now. Now I've got all of the swarf off of the bed weldings. Pretty clean. This is slide weight oil. So I'm just going to give it a bit of a coating down there. And obviously across the V as well. Is to put that down. Get the saddle, which is cleaned and free of crud. Rest it on the back. See what the problem is at the front here. That's the pins, the lining up pins. Rest it on the front. Grab the saddle lock. Lift it back up again. Alright, lift it back up again. Put the saddle lock in. There, like that. So the saddle lock's in now. Then line it up onto the down. There we go. I know there's something strange about it. When I was taking it to pieces, I sounds like something strange about it. You have to do some weird stuff. I think actually probably the best way would be to assemble the saddle and slip it on from the back. Probably. So that's the saddle lock back here. And here's the other one. Good out, it's all in. Like that. Like that. Tighten. 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 Let's have some slide welder in that. So, front one, didn't ever get into it that much at Volkswagen. Working too much all the time. That's that one. Okay. Next, my little funky T-slot covers. So we did stop the groove going here. There is nothing underneath that one. There. Excellent. Just tighten them up. That'll be them reset. They don't need to go mad. They're just holding down. We're to torque these down. Jesus, that was tight. That's just too tight, man. Tight. Stop being so tight. These are not holding the gearbox in. Just hold the metal plate on. Stupid. Okay, that is that lot done. How much dirt have I got in here? Bits. I might get a magnet and just clean that out. Just get the last little bits out. This is very difficult to fit. Very difficult indeed. Now, compound itself, I don't know if you can see it, it's down here. Probably can. And I'll just drop the knot out of it. So that means I'll probably drop the next knot out of it. I am going to give this a clean. Back in a second. Okay, I'm back. So I'm going to blow some of the crap off. There's a bit of oil going right now, it's a bit dry. I've just brake cleaned it. So I have a bit of oil on the bottom there. Just enough to stop it from rusting. Because that was brake clean dry. Get over the brass there. Bottom of that. If you can read that. There we go, number 1. Everything on this blade says number 1 on it. So after a good brake cleaning, everything is dry. Just give it a good rubbing. Top here shouldn't be too bad. Get those nuts out of the way. Now there's a little trick of putting this on. Yeah, it is a trick as well. Putting this on. Probably do with a bit of oil on it. So for a start, you get your nuts the right way. Line your nuts up. Then you use your metric imperial spanner. Line it all up. Metric imperial. Your metric imperial spanner. These are a bit of a pain to line up. Once they go, there you go. That's that one done. Okay, that's that one. Yep, that's that one. This is a loose fitting 12mm. Let's say some things which I will come out of there. Very low. Most lathes you'd have, you know, sort of around here to 60, but if you can see that, it clashes. So doing any work there really requires you to take into account that that will be clashing. Now, I've not noticed this before, but this line has more lines marked into it. I wonder if they're for threading. Could well be. That could be the threading mark. I haven't seen them before. I think someone's put them in themselves. I'll throw it back up onto the 0. I'm going to use the 0 at the moment because I have not measured to see if it's the headstock out of alignment or some other problem why I'm not cutting a perfectly straight line. I seem to think the headstock is out of alignment. Now hopefully that will be close to 0. Looks like it's bang on. I don't know if you can see it from there. It might be hard to, I don't know. Back together. Let's see if the cross slide works. Alright, let's see if the cross slide works. Let's put the edge. Stop. Just make sure that is tight. You've already had one loose thing today. Yep, that's tight. Okay, run. Oh, thieves. Oh, my word. It is turning, but it is turning in reverse. It is now feeding out. Can you see that? Excellent. All worth it. So let's reverse it. I'll just reverse the lathe. And that is now power feeding in. Immense. Look, no hands. Wow, but this isn't doing well. So I tightened the belt up, and before that the lathe would slow considerably while doing this. Now tighten the saddle a little bit. As we can see now, it just doesn't slow down at all. So a dramatic improvement has been gained by doing that, tightening the belt up. I'm designing the legs for the welding table. So what we've got is an M14 threaded bar. I've done the end like you've seen. I saw these off yesterday in the bandsaw, and I faced them off, not perfectly faced, but just squared them up. You can see that. And these are approximately 40 millimeters. Around about. That one's just about 39 mil. We'll take it from the higher reading, it's easier to read off. So that one's 39 millimeters. So we're all approximately 40 mil. I've ordered some 6 mil, I believe, 60 mil steel plates to weld onto the bottom of them. But I need something for the ball to go in, because right now it'll just slip straight off at any opportunity. It'll just go, and the table's on the floor and your bits all over the shop. So I want something which is going to go into the foot and stop it from sliding off sideways. Just way too much oil down there, it's leaking everywhere. Seriously need to make the coolant trap for this. Oil the bearings. Another thing is I'm not mega happy about oiling the bearings with these oilers here. So I think I'm going to get those little oiler pots that put onto them, then I can actually see the oil going in and know full well it's going in. But I shan't be using the power feeds, so I'm not going to engage the quick change gearbox or the feeds and threading gearbox, whatever you want to call it. And the lathe is a lot quieter and smoother when that gearbox isn't engaged. You can probably see a little bit of a rock going on. It doesn't like control. So I've set for around about 1000 RPM now, I think, maybe 1500, between 1000 and 1500 RPM. And I think I'm going to be using the compound to make the angle. The other thing is, I think I might cut in reverse. May well do. Flip this tool bit around the opposite way and upside down, and then cut across the back. Otherwise it means having the compound out at this angle and winding it in this way. I could fit the taper attachment. Should I fit the taper attachment and then just do the maximum taper, what that will do? That could be good fun, watching that happen. Let's put the taper attachment on and have some fun. Change of camera. Don't know how much better or worse this camera is, but before I even start, I've just nipped up these two, and now I need to find something to cover this hole. What I'm going to use, I don't know. You know what, this crappy handle that came on the feeds and threading gearbox lever, this might be the ticket. If I clean it out, put a little nut and bolt in the centre, that might just be the ticket. Yeah.